a show of unity among Europe's military powers, gathering at the Élysée Palace in Paris for an emergency summit on the war in Ukraine. The last-minute meeting was called by French President Emmanuel Macron, as Europe attempts to secure a spot at the negotiation table after the US moved to begin peace talks with Russia, sidelining the continent and excluding Ukraine.
Para que sea una paz justa y duradera, tiene que contar con la implicación activa de Ucrania, que es el país agredido, y también del proyecto político que se siente amenazado, que es la Unión Europea.
EU leaders are concerned that US President Donald Trump is giving too many concessions to his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, early in the negotiation process. Maintaining their resolve, the European leaders are reinforcing their continued support for Ukraine, expressing a willingness to help boost the country's defences.
I think the most important thing about this meeting tonight is the need for all of us to step up when it comes to our spendings on defence. Russia is not only a threat against Ukraine, but all of us.
British Prime Minister Keir Starmer reinforced that, recognising it's a new era under Trump and Europe needs to take responsibility for its own security. Set to travel to Washington next week to meet with the US leader, Starmer said the regional bloc is considering providing Ukraine with military backup.
Europe must play its role, and I'm prepared to consider committing British forces on the ground alongside others if there is a lasting peace agreement.
But to achieve that, Starmer, among many others, warned there must be a meaningful US security guarantee put in place to ensure Russia won't reignite the conflict. Meanwhile, Russian officials have arrived in Saudi Arabia for a meeting with a US delegation, the country's first gathering in the nearly 3 years since Russia invaded Ukraine. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov are expected to discuss avenues to end the conflict. But when asked about their ideal result from the talks, Russia seemed focused on stabilizing its relationship with the US.
Юрий Викторович, как настроение перед переговорами? Какой был бы идеальный результат?
Посмотрим. Главное, что начать реальную нормализацию отношений между нами и Вашингтоном.
Those talks could lay the groundwork for a meeting between Trump and Putin in as soon as the coming days. And as those negotiations get underway, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has reiterated he will reject any outcome of discussions that don't involve Kyiv. He is now in Turkey and will visit Saudi Arabia in the coming days for separate meetings, rallying support for Kyiv in the face of potentially diminished US backing. John Su and Rosie Grenenger for TaiwanPlus.